What's up, everybody? You are now tuned into the Doggie Diamonds live show with co-host Uncle Tad, Koku, Karma Kane. Music provided by DJ Big M. And I am your host, Doggie Diamonds. We got Ag Da Coroner in the building.
Yes, sir. Hell fucking yeah.
What's going on?
A lot of things, man.
Just dropped a project.
Yeah. But shit, 3 years it took me to put that shit out.
So, is it like having your first child? I like to.
It definitely is, man. But it's like my girl was in labor for 3 years.
Yeah.
So the shit was just annoying after a while, man. I ain't gonna front. It took some of the steam out, kind of like the excitement and shit. But once I started getting the feedback, like immediately, that shit just brought it all back.
So, Sip The Nectar, why that title? What does that mean?
That shit is just, symbolizes celebration.
Okay.
Because, we was always like, everybody got on that Rose Moet shit like in around 2006, 2007. Me and my niggas was in the club popping that shit for $90 a bottle back in 99, 2000.
You're absolutely right. I could attest to that.
And it was always that saying, sip the nectar. Yo, we ready to sip the nectar? Let's go.
Do you remember when Busy Bone did that shit? Sip the nectar. I thought you took that shit from him.
Nah, I never heard that.
Let's look that up. Yeah. He wilded out in one of his craziest interviews. You know, Busy Bone is out of control.
Yeah, niggas wild.
So, the record label Man Bites Dog.
Yeah.
What is it like to be signed?
Shit, honestly, ain't feel no different than when I wasn't signed.
Okay.
Because I really ain't, like we talk here and there, me and the CEO of the label, but it wasn't really nothing too intricate. He knew when he signed me, he already had like a package deal. Like he ain't need to, nobody need to A&R the project, nobody need to work on it. Like he signed me, let me do the work, stay out of my way, and let's go.
Reason why I'm asking that, because being signed, do you just like turn in the work and like this is what I'm working with? Mm-hmm. Or do they say change this, like what was the process?
They gave me 100% creative control of the shit. The only issues here and there was like sample clearances, but we didn't even care about that shit towards the end. We kind of just said, yo, you know what, fuck it.
And where could they get the project at right now?
You can find it on iTunes and Amazon. Digital download. The physical copies will be available shortly, and there's a few other outlets. There's actually a lot of outlets, but the main two is iTunes and Amazon. So
I know why your name is Ag Da Coroner, but tell the people why your name is Ag Da Coroner.
Yeah, there's a little bit of some I can't speak too much on it. Yeah, because there's some things going on in court right now that could be detrimental to something I might say, but I know my way around the morgue. I said I could say that for now. Okay. I could explain further detail later. I have in the past, but for now I kind of gotta keep it on the wraps.
So me and you have known each other for a long motherfucking time.
Yeah, man.
We have mutual friends who passed. Rest in peace, Mike Beck.
Whoa.
Rest in peace, Sean Price.
And Bill Blass.
Bill Blass, definitely. Remember me, you and Blass was actually in the hospital together one day, just sitting there kicking it. Seeing like our friends pass and they all did music and you still doing music, does that keep you going, or does some days you be like, man, fuck this, I don't even want to fuck with this industry no more?
I ain't gonna front. When Beck passed, when Blass and Beck passed, that shit kind of pushed me further, pushed me harder. Like, yo, I gotta really do this, especially for the neighborhood. Yeah, I come from, we from East New York, so, and those two dudes represent that neighborhood as well. So I felt like I needed to carry a torch for them somewhat. But I ain't gonna even front. When Sean Price passed, that shit really, really took the steam out of me, where I didn't even feel like rapping no more for a little while.
And I don't think people know what type of person he was. Like, I think he was probably one of the most honest people you ever would meet. Like, if he didn't like something or he didn't fuck with something, he would say it in his own humorous way sometimes. Yeah. But he meant that shit though.
Yeah, he was just like a special dude, man. Definitely one of one.
Yeah,
I always say Doggie Diamonds is one of one. Sean Price was definitely 101.
And it's funny how me and him just got along so well. And it's like I tell people, you didn't know him if you wasn't never in that kitchen.
Nah, man. If you ain't walk in the crib and be greeted by a big ass roach.
Yeah, exactly.
Then, you know, but Sean was just like a jokester. He was smart as hell. You know, he kept up with the times, with the news, everything. You could talk about anything with Sean, and he was well, you know, versed in it.
Were you able to get some material from him?
Me and Sean went back and forth for about 3 years with different beats, talking about, yo, let's do this.
He's picky as fuck, though.
Yeah, he was. And then one day I sent him a beat. Shout out to Stu Bangers,
okay,
producer from down south. He sent me a beat, and I sent it to Sean. And he happened to be in the studio that night, and he sent me a verse back like 30 minutes later with an added. He sent me his verse and Illa G. Okay. Put a verse on it. He said, yo, I threw Illa on it.
Yeah, so you got the bonus.
Yeah, so I said, you know what? That's a beautiful thing, man, because me and Illa been trying to get around to doing something too. I didn't put it on Sip the Nectar, I was, but I decided to hold off on it. I want to do something a little bit more special with it.
Yeah. So you got 3 years to have your first child, and then when do you go right back? Do you go right back and drop something else, or do you let this marinate for a while?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it can marinate for a little while. As soon as I'm already recording the second project. Okay. So, and we'll see what's gonna happen with that as far as like a situation. But I want to have that out hopefully by end of summer.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. You get blog love. Yeah. They show you love. What is that journey like? Like, has it been a hard journey for you trying to get people to see your vision musically? Because you don't make this music that everybody likes per se.
Yeah, I don't make the prototypical New York young boy trap shit. But it was weird how it happened. I did a record around the time Lil Wayne had got arrested out here for the gun charge, and he said something to the, pertaining to fuck New York.
Fuck New York, yeah.
And I took it personal, as I always do. I'm very, protective of my hometown. And I stole one of A-Rap music beats off of YouTube. I ripped it. Okay. And I did a song called Blow the City Up. And at the end of the joint, I said, fuck Lil Wayne. And people thought it was a Lil Wayne diss, but it wasn't. The whole record actually had to do, I was coming at the dudes out here who were kind of like
co-signing,
doing all that southern shit. Okay. And I'm trying to keep the New York flavor alive. And I did that in PF Cutting studio. We recorded that shit and put it out immediately. And B-Dot picked it up from Rap Radar. Mm-hmm. And he took it to Elliot, and he was like, yo, we got to put this on the site. And that's pretty much what kind of like got me in with the rest of the blogs. I guess they kind of follow suit with one another. Okay. So since Rap Radar is considered one of the, the
elite,
one of the more elite, then everybody else kind of follows suit with everything after that.
So you have the Roc Family. Yeah. Outdoorsmen. Yeah. Defunct Doors, that's still together.
Outdoorsmen is done. Outdoorsmen been done for about maybe 4 or 5 years.
And do the people know that, or do they not know that?
A lot of people don't, man. Some ask questions here and there, but I mean it's plain to see. Like if you just see how all of us are moving, you can see. Shout out to my brother J Love. It's always love with me and him. But I went my way and he went his way. Hopefully we can get it back together. But he's doing him. He got a couple of artists, my man Wise Ruler and Prince Original, who he's trying to pop off. Okay. And you got Mayhem and Action doing them, and then I'm kind of just doing me.
Okay. But I was always confused because I didn't never hear. Well, me knowing you, that's how I learned about them. Yeah. You introduced me to Mayhem Lorenz music and Action Bronson music and J Love from the Outdoorsmen, but it seemed like they're not introducing you to their core fan base. Does that bother you a little bit?
At first it did. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. The one thing I could say is, I got a lot of love for them dudes, and they have done a lot for me. Okay. Action put me on stage to perform, on a night where Eminem and 50 Cent was performing that night. Okay. It was us, Slaughterhouse, and then them. Okay. You know what I mean? And it put me on a lot of stages, put me on records that got me a lot of,
recognition,
broader fan base.
Yeah, okay.
And kind of plugged me into a couple of producers too that I work with to this day, like Alchemist and Harry Fraud.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for what they've done. For whatever reason, if I said something somebody ain't like, or it's politics behind it, it's still gonna be all love on my side at the end of the day, and nobody's obligated because I always been able to carry my own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You on Twitter, on social networks, have a very open opinion like me. I believe that's what that's for. That's for to express yourself.
Yeah.
Do you have people calling you like they call me saying, yo, you shouldn't say that, don't do that?
I've had people take issue. I might have said a few things about people they were cool with, and then I'm getting phone calls like, yo, why you doing this? You might, you putting me in a bad position. And I'm like, listen, man, if somebody's going to dictate or, their friendship or their relationship with you based on how I feel about them, then they a sucker. And I don't know why you want to be friends with somebody like that in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. I'm going to always speak my mind. I was raised that way, and I was raised a certain way. So, and I'm a fan of the culture before I'm an artist. So, my opinion is always going to be given, and it's going to be given uncut. And
your opinion is, I've never seen you personally attack somebody. It's always been in defense of hip-hop. Yeah. I have personally attacked. Yeah. But it has been based around hip-hop first and foremost. Yeah. But there's always a reason. Like I said, there's always a method to my madness. I'm not just going to jump out the window and go in on somebody for no reason. Everybody, maybe not everybody, but people close to my circle, close enough, know how at one point I was just really, really going in on Troy Ave. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the proof, and that was like 2 years ago. Okay. And look what's going on now. So, So you kind of foreseen something. Yeah, I knew what it was. So we got Ag Da Coroner in the building. Shout out to Lord Nez too, man. That's the homie. Word, Lord Nez on the left coast right now, man, in San Diego. So you have an opinion on social media. You talk about rap, you talk about hip hop, you talk about the fuck shit that goes on. But didn't you expect, like, everybody so-called is real nigga and for the culture, didn't you expect more people to rally behind you? Definitely. And I just want you to tell the people how people who you thought would be in agreement with you was the main ones that's saying, don't say that, you shouldn't say that, you're going to burn bridges. The thing, how I take it is, some people, they have no choice but to play politics. Yeah. And it's not a knock on nobody or what they do, but in reality, if what you doing, if your body of work ain't up to par, if you ain't nice like that, you got to play politics. Yeah. If your shit is nice, people gonna fuck with your shit regardless. So I'm gonna speak my mind because I know at the end of the day, whoever don't like my shit, they still gonna fuck with my music because, they obviously they like it. Yeah. They still fuck with it. Yeah, I talk all the shit in the world, but there's certain niggas out there, if they open their mouth to say something sideways and somebody don't like that shit, they could just snatch their shit off their site without, batting an eye. Because, this shit is corny anyway. It's not really that great. Yeah. So, we got Ag Da Coroner in the building. Sip The Nectar is the album. It's out now. You can get it everywhere. Available everywhere. iTunes, Google Play. How many joints is on the album? 18. Why 18? Why not 40? Why not 10? Like, how do you pick 18? 18, well, I did it was 14 joints that was supposed to be for the album. Okay. Brand new. Okay. And then I had 4 other joints that I'm like, you know what? Them shits was already out. I put them out already. And I said, we throwing that on the album too, just because I feel like they were hot. And now, because I'm at where I'm at now in a better place than I was previously, I might give some new light to these joints. Okay. Yeah, bring them back to life that they might not have. Yeah. For anybody who missed it, this is what you missed. Yeah. What are some of the features you got on the album? I got on the MC tip, I got my man Drug, nasty kid out of Bed-Stuy. We got Bodega Bams. I got this kid Dub from the West Coast. I got Mayhem, Action, Rock Marcy. I got M-Rick on it. Mm-hmm. My man Rick Gonzalez, who used to go by the name Realm Reality. He changed his name? Yeah, he went to Rick Gonzalez now, but actually, I just spoke to him the other day, and he's not going to be rapping no more. Sadly, he decided to hang the mic up. Realm, cut the shit. He's going to just focus on acting completely. Realm, cut the shit. Yeah. I guess I got to hit you on Twitter and bark on you. I wanted to say that too, man, but
You know, my man is dead set, man.
Yeah.
I get it though. I mean,
yeah.
Production wise, we got Alchemist, Harry Fraud, ATG, Stu Bangers, a couple of new dudes like MTK. I like to use, you know, a lot of nondescript dudes who ain't really get that shot yet, but and the next project is probably gonna be all producers that nobody never heard of.
I should be on that next project too. I'll be ready.
Well, then that's the one that everybody heard of.
Yeah,
that'll probably be the only one.
I'll be ready by that time. Production. How do you pick your beats?
I'm super picky with beats, man. It just had to talk to me.
Okay.
It could be the hottest beat. Sometimes I hear a hot ass beat and it's just not for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be like, yo, you know what? Such and such a sound better on this, and I might try to plug that.
Okay.
You know, to holler at my man, he might like that. But once the shit start talking to me, I know immediately. Like the first 3 or 4 seconds, once the shit goes in and the drums drop, and my mind start going, the first couple of words to the track just automatically pop in my head. I'm like, all right, this one, let's go with this.
So how come AG don't do 1,000,001 freestyles? How come you not rhyming over that hot beat that's out right now?
I don't want to oversaturate, man. Like somebody, a well-known blog dude told me one time, you gotta flood the market. Pardon me, man. I've been sick for a little while.
Yeah.
You gotta flood the market. You gotta put content out every week. And I disagreed.
Yeah.
I said I don't feel like I have to do that because I feel like the work that I do will resonate for as long as it has to until I'm ready to put something else out again. It's these dudes who ain't saying it and I gotta put shit out every week because you forgot already from the shit they did yesterday. It was not
memorable.
Yeah, so that shit don't apply to me. And you know, truth be told, look at artists like Sean Price and Rock Marcy.
Yeah.
They get solid fan bases, very, very big fan bases. And,
huge, worldwide.
And these dudes put out music when they want to.
Yep.
Might be an album a year, might be an album every 2 years. And people don't turn their backs on them. And I feel like I could be that quality of artist as well.
How is it that you stayed out of the stigma of the Latin artist? He's the Puerto Rican rapper and all that. You just
I don't know,
bypassed all of that shit.
That shit is weird to me.
Yeah,
because
nobody put you in that box.
It's strange to me because I've seen every other person get put in that box. I don't know why. I think maybe, you know what it is? Somebody told me, and this is the dumbest shit in the world. Somebody told me, yo, when I first heard you, I thought you was black.
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, yeah.
What does black sound like?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like,
yeah.
I have, most of my friends was black. First of all, I grew up in East New York. There was maybe 3 or 4 Puerto Rican families within a 5 or 6 square block radius in my section where I was at. So I don't know. Maybe that's where they get this. We thought you was black shit coming up, but I think because of that and my face not really being out there for so long, but people hearing my voice, I was able to kind of sneak around that shit.
You got a unique voice. Was it a time that you hated your voice?
Shit, probably when I was 15 because my shit wasn't deep yet.
Oh, okay.
So I was sounding like Bart Simpson and trying to kick game to the ladies, and they ain't trying to hear that shit.
What was your first memory of being a rapper?
Oh man, somebody put me on this. Matter of fact, my man Just, shout out to my man Just. He was the first dude who put me in the studio. Okay. Taught me how to count bars. I know he probably, we'll both laugh because I know he got me for some bread that day. You know, nigga overcharged me to go in the studio. But ever since then, you know, we family now. But he put me on the spot. There was a showcase at a spot called the Orange Bear somewhere. I think it was Lower Manhattan. And my man Mental, shout out to Mental, was DJing that night. And they put me on the spot to rap. I had never rapped in front of people like that, like in a crowd on stage. And these niggas threw on like the craziest beat to rap to. They threw on it was the Sheshela Ghost shit from Ghost. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Usually you put on like Who Shot Ya or Shook Ones. Those are easy beats to rap to.
Yep.
This nigga put this shit on and I'm like, wow, I'm supposed to rap over this? But I wound up catching it for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Like off the bat, boom, and I wound up smashing it. And there was a bunch of like internet radio people in the audience and label people. And I stepped off the stage and all these people just ran up on me like, yo, that shit was crazy. You got a record out? I need something. I need some work. And I was just overwhelmed because I'm like, yo, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't even been in the studio yet.
Yeah.
You know, that was just some shit I wrote, like fucking 60 bars. And that's my most memorable moment because that was the, a time when I was able to say, you know what, shit, I might be on to something here.
How do people get a hold of you if they want to collaborate with you?
Shit, just hit me through social media. Let me hear your music, because if the shit is hot, I ain't even gonna front. Like right now, I could be making some, a nice little chunk of change, and I have been. Because if you whack, I'ma charge you. Yeah. But if the shit is dope enough where I'm like, yo, this shit is like, I can't even deny this. I work on the arm too. I just want to make good music. I always been able to make money outside of music. Yeah. Like I don't need to do music to make money or be rich.
I'm not rapping for food.
I'm not one of these rappers gonna be flashing, throwing fucking dollar bills in the strip club and shit. And we get money. Nah, yeah. I don't need that. I've been working my whole life. I'll make money on the side. I make music because I love it.
Top 5 rappers of all time is who?
That's tough. Shit, I would say Dylon, but
nah.
Top 5. I'm gonna start with Kool G Rap.
Facts.
And this is all personal opinion.
Yeah, this is your opinion. This is what you think.
Yeah. Kool G Rap. I'm gonna go Roc Family number 2. Kane number 3. Big number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And Pun number 5.
Okay, can't argue with that. I think that that's like a unanimous list for a lot of people. I think the Kane, Rakim, and G Rap is always interchangeable between top 3 with everybody. What is it about them that affected you in a good way as far as hip hop?
It was those early dudes. Growing up where I grew up, it was the shit was horrible. It was rough. I grew up. If anybody's seen the documentary, the 7-5.
Yeah, them fuck boys.
All that shit was going on while I was right there.
Yeah,
like I seen these dudes. I know these dudes by face. Like I seen them come to the block and niggas dropping off packs on on the front seat of the cop car and all that. So it was it was a lot of running and ducking and dodging and just, trying to stay alive day by day. So it was a rough time, and hearing this music and discovering this music during those times were able to keep me in the house.
Mm-hmm.
During certain times when if I would have been outside,
you might not have made
who knows what would have happened.
Yeah.
And it also, the message that came with it kept me off of the block. So even when I would come outside, I wouldn't spend too much time on the block. I was in the park. Playing my sports and all that. And there were times, you always fall victim and you might dibble and dabble here and there. But the hip hop, and it's cliche. A lot of people say hip hop saved my life, but I feel like it really did because it gave me something to look forward to and it gave me a message.
You say sports, what you was playing? For some reason you look like you got a mean handball game and shit.
I was nasty in handball. That's like I'm predisposed because I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But basketball was my shit. Yeah. Like people from the hood thought I was gonna make the NBA. That's how crazy it got at one time. Like
why didn't you make the NBA?
That was a fuck up.
Yeah.
I would literally spend all day in the park shooting. Even in the dark, it could be ice on the floor, it could be raining. I was in the park 14, 15 hours a day working on my jump shot in my game.
When you make your project and you put it out, do you have a projected sales thing or do you say, fuck it, if 10 people bought it, I'm happy?
Nah, we just wing it.
Okay.
It's like, for me, it's just like I just want to get the product out. As long as I'm happy with the project, shit, I don't care if nobody buy this shit.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything. And the feedback been crazy. Some of the things that people are saying, I can't even co-sign. Because that's just who I am on a humble. But, like I said, I always tell other artists this shit. Stop making music for people. Make music for yourself.
Yeah.
Make some shit that you would like.
Yeah.
What you want to hear, and if the people fuck with it, they fuck with it. If not, you can't say that you conform for nobody.
So, the next project, you got a title for it?
Yeah, I'm calling that shit The Revenant. I don't know who's seen that movie or not.
Wait, we saw that.
But yeah, the symbolism in that movie is how I feel right now moving through this forest. So are
you? What happens if you run into that bear, though, man?
Well, I already ran into the bear.
Okay, yeah. The bear got the the moral of the story is the bear got defeated. The bear fuck you up a little bit, but you do defeat the bear, and then you heal up.
My thing is, being left for dead, and now I gotta fight my way to the forest to go get these niggas.
Yeah. So you gonna work on a project. social network is there any networking on it anymore? Like, what do you think about that shit anymore?
I don't know. I think to some extent there is, because, you know, I still always find out about new artists through there, and you know, some of them reach out and we get to converse with each other. So in that sense, yeah, but a lot of it is just, you know, who talks the craziest and
who's the best troll,
who can make you laugh the most. And I mean, I even got to that point where, you know, I shoot my music out there, but I really let my team do the job. I like to make people laugh, so a lot of times I just be saying some wild shit, but shit that makes sense too at the same time. So
you representing the city, representing Brooklyn, representing New York City.
Yeah.
What do you think how can I pose this? Should platforms like Ebro in the morning and the Breakfast Club, should they be reaching out to people like you saying, we need you to come up here and speak for the city because you're for the city?
I would say that if my voice reached that far, if somebody introduced them to, you know, this is who this is right here, then yeah, by all means, I feel like my voice should be heard, and what I have to say should be heard. But I know, you know, again, I know there's a lot of politics behind this shit. There be times, and you know, I'm a big fan of some of the shows and shit. Like, I watch the Breakfast Club a lot. I ain't gonna front. And a lot of times I see these artists pop out of nowhere. I never heard one record. I never even heard the name before. And they up there, I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? But, you know, it is what it is, man. If my shit get me there, get me there. If not, I don't even give a fuck. I'm here at DTF on Doggie Diamonds.
Yeah.
And that shit me.
So how do you feel? But how do you feel when you see Ebro call people like Sean Price a minor league rapper?
I feel like Ebro's the biggest troll in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he lets on that he actually has more power than he really does. And I think that's why he gets so much flack from people. They think that, you know, he's really the dictator up there when he's not. But he likes taking on that character. Hot 97, I've always had a love-hate relationship with them. Some of the DJs up there I can't stand. Some of them I love. Some of the personalities are dope, and some of them are corny. Some people left, you know, as you can see. I just feel like to say that it's the home of hip-hop, I have an issue with that.
Okay.
Because you're not breaking nothing. How are you the home of hip-hop and you're not breaking records? You're saying that a record has to be broken through social media on the internet first before you can play it. That's not what a radio station represents to me. Like, if you run the city and you the home of hip hop, then you should be breaking records as well. Yeah, let the records get broken on YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever too, but you got to meet them halfway. You got to do what they doing too in order to, you know, make this city a little better. And I feel like he's one of the main culprits. He's been out here talking about how weak the city's been and how New York fell off such and such. He said that shit so much that people started to believe the shit, and it was never true. It's just the shit kind of just moved away from us. But that's all, you know, that's corporate intentions and shit.
Who should take the blame for a lot of this shit? Because somebody got to get I know when you point, you know, a finger, 3 point back at you, but
yeah.
Who should take the blame for how shit is? Because he was debating between him and 50. Who fucked it up? Who fucked it up, in your opinion?
I feel like it's hard to point fingers to say who fucked it up. I mean, I know ultimately who did, because, you know, everything is swayed by corporate dollars.
Okay.
So for me, I feel like hip-hop, it got to a point where it was so powerful it created African-American millionaires. And they don't want to see that shit anymore. You're not going to find another Jay-Z. You're not going to get another Diddy. You're not going to get another Jermaine Dupri. They don't want
moguls.
Yeah, they don't want moguls anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to, you know, push the music in a direction where it's just going to be some stupid shit. And you got all these kids that are just, they have an affinity for making money but giving it right back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and not building nothing behind it because there's no real talent there in the first place, and there's no real brain cells. You niggas just drinking fucking cough syrup and popping all kinds of pills and shit like
that they're gonna die from. Like, literally gonna die.
This is supposed to be our future. Like, what evolves from this?
Yeah.
If this is what hip hop is now, where does it go from there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but ultimately, that's what I think it was. There was a lot of power in the word. Like, hip hop gave you the negative, but it also gave you the positive as well. Niggas told you what they were doing, but they told you the consequences too.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just all about fucking having fun and turning up. Do that shit long enough, and what's gonna happen when you 35, 40, and you still trying to fucking turn up, but you have no knowledge of, you know, what to do next.
How about some of them that are 18 and look 35 or 40?
Well, that's all that fucking drug use and shit, man. That's all.
I mean, we call them custies though. Like, they always been custies to us. Like,
that's one thing I agreed about. Like, you know, with the whole Troy Ave shit, when he was talking about like the addict became, you know, he became the man, and the dealer kind of fell back. You know what I mean? But shit is just fucked up out here.
Yeah. So we got Ag Da Coroner in the building. I want to thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me, man.
Sip the Nectar. The album is available. Make sure you get it. Just listen to it, even if you're streaming it on Tidal or any of those Spotify.
I don't care if you listen to this shit for free, man, because it might sway you to want to buy this shit. So go on iTunes, go on Spotify, go on Amazon, cop this shit. You know, like I said, shortly the physical copies will be coming. And you know, I take food stamps if you got that.
Yeah, EBT.
You know,
what visuals you got coming out or out for it?
We got My Truth. I put out about 2 weeks ago. That's doing pretty well.
That should have been on ForbesDVD.com, right? It was, right? Okay.
I believe it was.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
We did you know, due to some politics, I did a video clip for Park Avenue, the joint with Rock Marcy and Action Bronson. We couldn't get the whole video together, so I just did my clip.
Okay.
What I felt was right, which was a good move too. You know, that shit built up a lot of steam. And I'll be shooting about 2 more videos for this project, and then we'll go right into shooting some shit for the new project, which I should have like a sufficient amount of joints done by then.
Give them all your social media.
The way the name is spelled is the way you can find me. It's all Ag Da Coroner. It's not the THE, it's DA. Duh, like, you know, duh, that's fucking dumb noise. Like you're just a dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, duh.
So it's AGDA CORONER. You can find me on all social media outlets through that name. Alright,
so we about to get the fuck out of here, but we gonna leave with Ag Da Coroner music. Inf, I need you to. This is what we gonna do. Inf, play your single. Then after you play your single, let's just play some more of the album.
Let's get